On this video, I'm gonna explain why I allow cussing on my channel and my live streams. It's not what you think, but don't you go anywhere.
I don't need nothing else. Every time I'm with you, yo, it's something else. It's a fact, and it's nothing else. Got your hand out, you don't even need a help. Ooh, I don't need nothing else. Every time I'm with you, yo, it's something else. It's a fact, and it's nothing else. Got your hand out, you don't even need a help. Ooh, that's right. I don't need nothing else. That's right.
What's going on? It's Ruslan with KingsDreamENT.com. This channel exists to encourage, empower, inspire you to live out God's dream for your life. That looks in all kinds of different ways. And one of the funnest ways I get to do it, man, is I get to lead this online creative community, our Patreon community, where every Friday night we do this Fan Love Friday live stream. And on that live stream, I allow some profanity, some cussing, right? And this is a hot button topic within the different Christian circles. I've shared my thoughts on it. And I also have some guests on this channel who use some profanity. Now, I'm a Christian. I believe the Bible is the inspired word of God. I personally don't use profanity, but I think it's a conversation worth having. And I'm gonna get into it on this video. But before I do that, I wanted to highlight this Patreon community. Why? Because every Friday I listen to their music. The ability in there, the talent in there, people's just growth as artists is exceptional, and it's really cool. So I'm trying to figure out a different way to highlight it. My man Belief said, man, you can't just leave your 2-3 hour live streams up of you listening to music. You're gonna get slayed in the algorithm. So I said, why not? Let's do like a recap type of thing. And so that's what I'm gonna do on this video. And then I'm gonna ease into why I allow cussing in the live streams, cussing with some of my guests. So here's what you missed this past Friday from the Fan Love Friday live stream.
Purpose is greater than pleasure. I feel great under pressure. I could do it alone, but we do it better together. That's how I treat my endeavors. I always needed to learn, but never needed a lecture. In case you need a refresher, I've been on the east side. Keep trying, riding with my Mona Lisa. You see why mine spin like ballerinas. Thrift shop, got a feeling like a freestyle. Meanwhile, I've been on the go.
Nick D out of Culpeper, Virginia. I got a record coming with that dude. We actually got a couple records together. He grew his Instagram from 1,000 to 28,000 in 1 year by releasing a music video and single every other week.
I wouldn't lead it, cannot defeat it. Got on my side and I know he gon' ride for me. Yeah, we know the end's coming soon. That's how we be all on the move, yeah. Hear the trumpet say,
That's the praise that pays right there.
That's how we be all on the move, yeah. Hear the horn say, I can't.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the homie Jamil. I got a record with him. That's his brand new single. And what you're seeing in the screen is actually me giving them feedback over Zoom face to face. So there's, again, most talented community on the internet. I put my money up against anybody else's community. I'm telling you, what we got over here at the King's Dream Patreon community is crazy.
Yeah, look. Man, I'm steady on a mission, cause the shoes that I done lived in got it so that you can't fit in. I gotta take my time to show these jackets what they missing. Claim my style is out of date, but when it's dope, why would I switch it? I know.
That's the homie Mason Montana, all the way out of Houston.
2013, I dropped the overdose. You know that feeling when you ain't there, but shit, you know you close. I didn't have it. They compare my shit to Peter. Used to say I was blacking, bar snapping. I was thinking if my shit grab them, then where's the traction? Fuck the back patting on Twitter, there's no one atting. Niggas said I sound like Cole and they started clapping. I just had a different reaction. I'm Action Jackson.
That was Lacey Jackson, the dude that inspired the video, actually, that I'm gonna unpack on why I allow cussing on my channel. But don't you go anywhere.
Stay at home, stay at home, stay at home, yeah. Stay at home, stay at home, stay at home, yeah.
Let's go.
Fucking down, care from alone. Don't come over, I can see you through the phone. Stay at home, yeah. Stay at home, stay at home, stay at home, yeah. Stay at home, stay at home, stay at home, yeah. Nigga tryna keep Corona out my zone. Please get it through your door, y'all. We gotta stay at home, yeah.
That is cut right from the Justice League Stay at Home Shelter in Place song. I told him he got to get that on TikTok immediately. Hilarious. Cut right's been doing music for a while. He is super dope. One last submission.
Niggas be lying, they lions and you they prey. Yeah, let's get down on your knees and say your pray. Yeah, amen. I heard plenty words round the way. Niggas steady talking what you saying. The OGs are passing down game to the young niggas outside playing. Now just allow me to kick game to you, FIFA style. You know the reefer's loud, my niggas tweaking wild.
That is the homie Langston Bristol. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Why do I allow cussing on my channel? I'm very familiar with what the scriptures say. Jesus said that out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. Proverbs 18:28 says the tongue has the power of life and death. James, the brother of Jesus, says in James 3, who can tame the power of the tongue? For out of it we bless God and we curse men. And of course, the apostle Paul in Ephesians 4:28 says, let nothing unwholesome come out of your mouth, but that which is edifying. I believe our words have power. So then the question is, why would I allow profanity and cussing on my channel? Now, I don't use profanity. It's something that I've worked on and been more intentional on since I've had my son Levi, and Levi's turning 5. If I'm going to use it around my friends, I don't want to slip up and say it in front of my son. And I focus on being one, integer. The root word of integrity is being one, integer, being the same. So I am making an effort to be the same person in every circle with my family, with my friends, and my music, so on and so forth. So why would I then allow profanity on my channel? Well, it's simple in that I think sometimes Christians misunderstand language isn't just about profanity and cussing. Language is the overflow of our heart, everything that's being said. So we get obsessed with just a couple words. We get obsessed with the 4-letter words, the bad words. And to me, I think when Paul says, let nothing unwholesome come out of your mouth, he means nothing unwholesome. And so how I look at it is that Jesus's standards are always elevated above our own. He says, you heard that it was said, any man who commits adultery. Well, I tell you, any man that looks at a woman lustfully has committed adultery in his heart. You heard that it was said, anyone who murders somebody. Well, I say, if you hate your brother, you've murdered him in your heart. He takes these standards, right? And he takes them to a level where we can't actually live up to God's moral ground, which should even the playing field and make us all dependent more on Jesus and the good news of the gospel, which is Jesus lived the life that we couldn't live, a perfect sinless life. He died the death that we should have died, a sinner's death, and he rose and offers us a new resurrected life to spend eternity with him in heaven, but also to experience a piece of heaven on earth. That is the good news of Jesus. That is the good news of the gospel. We still have to examine the fact that we cannot live up. If you've lied, if you've committed adultery in your heart by lusting after a woman, if you've hated your brother, then you are guilty of sin. And that should make us more dependent and more humble on Jesus and not boastful and proud. So when it comes to profanity, when it comes to language, I would look at it like you thought it was about cussing and saying a few words, but I'm telling you, let nothing unwholesome come out of your mouth. For out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. Let nothing unwholesome come out of your mouth, but that which is edifying and encouraging. So Jesus' standard for language is even higher than profanity. It's even higher than cussing. So I don't get wrapped up in the cussing thing with my audience. I give them a heads up. I say, hide your kids, hide your wife. It's gonna be some profanity in that song. But when it comes to my guests, when it comes to people coming on the channel, I wanna let people be themselves and express themselves how they see fit in the same way that Jesus was himself, and he allowed people to be themselves. And the last thing I want to do is create a higher barrier for someone to get my perspective on their art as a Christian, or extract some great information from them, even though they may be using language that I wouldn't use around my son. That's just my view of things. I want this channel to be something for everyone to be able to come on and enjoy themselves and have guests from different worldviews. And I really do believe that the gospel levels the playing field and says, listen, we're all guilty. Romans 6:23, for the wages of sin is death, but the free gift of God is eternal life in Jesus Christ. That the wages of sin, that because of our sin, we're all guilty. There is no us versus them. There is no us who are holy versus them that use profanity. No, fam. If you thought it, you might as well have said it. And if you said something that wasn't encouraging, edifying, that's just as bad as using a 4-letter word that society deems inappropriate. So that's where I hope we would get to as a community. That's where I'm pushing my community to get to. And I know that's complicated, liberty and this and that. So I'm going to continue letting people who may have a different worldview share their worldview. And the point of it is this: how I gauge art and how I gauge a healthy message is not by whether there's a profanity in it or not. I look at it like, is it calling good evil, and is it calling evil good? I'm way more concerned about that, muddying the ground, saying that good things like church and God and Jesus are corny and cheesy. I think that's way more dangerous. Or taking evil and taking sin and sexual immorality and our struggle and depression and glorifying that as somehow that's cool and glamorizing that. I'm way more concerned about that. And we do see Christian artists do that. Don't get it twisted. We see Christian artists that make fun of the things of God, and we see Christian artists that glorify things that are just not healthy. That is my standard. That is where I will gauge. If somebody is presenting a message on this channel that I think is toxic, they will get edited. I won't air it. And I've done that before. That is why I allow cussing on this channel. Hopefully that makes sense. And then, listen, if you don't like it, it's all good, fam. Hit that unsubscribe button. But I believe that this is the way I'm supposed to be doing it. I have a lot of people that don't agree with me who watch this channel, and I would like to keep it that way. If you would like to get your music heard, link is in the description. Head on over, sign up, $10 a month. Every Friday we do a Fan Love Friday. I'm gonna do more of these videos to kind of highlight what just happened the previous week, to hopefully highlight the artist ultimately. And the Zoom calls that happen on Sunday, you get discounts on merch. So I wanna hear what you guys think, man. Do y'all think I'm bugging? Y'all think I'm crazy? Ruslan on his loose theology stuff? Or could you understand why I would not want people to feel like they have to edit themselves in my presence? Let me know in the comment section below. I appreciate you guys watching this. Appreciate everybody rocking with the community. If you want to partner with what we're doing here at Kingstream ENT, all you got to do is hit that description, sign up for the Patreon community, or consider joining YouTube membership. That's also very helpful if you just want exclusive content, live streams, stuff like that. Most of that stuff's on Patreon. So hit the like button. Let me know what you think.